In this society, being homosexual has always meant political and social strife. But now the gay community has to face up to another kind of problem, that as a group they seem to be the target for a number of infectious diseases like herpes, hepatitis B, and a deadly new form of pneumonia. Doctors have even coined a new word for these conditions, GRIDS, gay-related infectious diseases. Of all these diseases, the one that's generated the most concern and even fear in the gay community is called Kaposi sarcoma. Kaposi sarcoma used to be known as simply a relatively rare form of cancer, but in the last few months, it's become an epidemic. In just 4 years, there have been 500 cases of this almost unheard of form of viral cancer. Half of those victims have died, making Kaposi's a greater killer than Legionnaire's disease and toxic shock syndrome put together. And in 75% of the cases, the victims were gay men. Dr. Paul Volberding, a cancer researcher at the University of California at San Francisco, says there's no good explanation for the sudden surge in Kaposi's or for why it strikes gays.
Our best guess is that it's somehow related to the gay lifestyle, that whether it's drug use, whether it's sexual activity, we're not completely sure at this time. One thing that we've seen is that the patients with this disease tend to have more frequent sexual contacts than people that don't get this disease. So at this time we think that it is sexually transmitted.
So far, research shows that people get Kaposi's not because it is particularly virulent or infectious, but because their immune system, the body's defense against all diseases, has been seriously weakened by drugs, poor nutrition, or lack of sleep. It is a syndrome researchers call acquired immune deficiency. That immune deficiency has made early attempts to fight this disease frustrating because chemotherapy, the treatment normally used against cancer, only seems to make matters worse.
Here we're dealing with a population of patients who have an abnormal immune system to begin with. We think that's why they have the cancer. We know that chemotherapy further suppresses immune systems. It's an unfortunate side effect of most types of chemotherapy that we have available, and certainly of the types that seem to be effective in this tumor.
These problems led Volberding and others to try different treatments. And at San Francisco General Hospital's Clinical Research Center, he is now experimenting with the controversial wonder drug interferon to see how well it works against this cancer.
Our hope with interferon is that we can take advantage of the effect on the immune system in boosting the immune system, that we can use its ability to kill dividing cells, and at the same time not do that at the expense of the patient's immune system.
The research program here and a similar one at UCLA are small and just now getting started, despite the toll 4 years of the disease has already taken. The problem, people here say, is political. Kaposi sarcoma has been played down as a gay disease. Dan Turner is one of 12 gay men taking part in the San Francisco study.
I would like to know why the federal government has not responded to the outbreak of this disease in the same way in which it responded to Legionnaire's disease and the toxic shock syndrome. People have been gay for centuries. This is a new disease, and I think that we all have to be concerned and worried about it.
There now is reason for wider concern. In recent months, the number of cases reported is up 250%. Those cases include heterosexual men, non-drug users, and women. Those statistics are about to make Kaposi's more than just a gay disease. And, says Volberding, medical researchers are finally getting interested in Kaposi's and in treating Kaposi's patients for reasons of their own. They want to find a cure for Kaposi's because of what this disease may reveal about other kinds of viral cancer.
It's a hard thing to say, but there's a lot of excitement about this tumor in the medical community. And the reason for that is that it, for the first time, I think, gives us the opportunity to find infectious agents that may be responsible for human cancers. And as you know, there's been a long history of a search for the human cancer virus. And there's the outside chance that this disease will give us new insight into that.
At San Francisco General, I'm Bill Skane for Science Notes.